We begin tonight with some stunning news. The city of Robstown has been named by the FBI as the most dangerous city in Texas. Thousands of people have gotten out and voted so far. The day has not come again without its voting issues here at home.
I had a chance to talk with Chief Blanchard earlier today from Aransas Pass, and he said that about 80 to 90% of the town is destroyed, 25% total damage. There's no power, there's no water, no sewer.
We have so many people, thousands upon thousands, that have lost power.
We've got folks from Houston, from Mexico, from Guatemala, El Salvador, from all over the country.
And she's saying, of course, the state of Tennessee, former residents are saying, hey, listen, we feel your pain. We're going to try to help out as much as we can. As far as the water is concerned, Kim Womack was saying donations are coming in. They have 5 18-wheelers that are coming into the city, 100,000 cases of water on its way, but they have not announced yet where we can get that free water. Of course, we will keep you posted on that.
We have one quick donation that I want to get to before. This is from
the Suburban Community League of Corpus Christi, Texas.
And you are donating?
On behalf of the military families. We're donating $100.
We'll take that.
It goes further than just drinking the water, John Thomas, as well. It's just don't use the water at all. This is something completely different. Never seen it in the 12 years that I've been here in Corpus Christi. In an article from the KIII-TV, they said that you directly blamed the caller on your Facebook post for them being part of the decay for the city of the last 20 years. Can you explain that?
I would agree with that.
Why'd you name him Long Shot? Is it because you thought he would be a long shot from winning? But here he is. I think he's beautiful. Love his color. Love how he looks. And he's actually the first friendly steer for me.
Well, tonight we hear from residents in Aransas Pass living in the city's public housing. Word tonight that multiple people are being told that they have to leave their home, and they say they're not sure why. Our 3 News reporter Madeline Dart is first at 5 tonight. And Maddie, what is management saying to us about this? In Corpus Christi, the Island University experiencing some water problems this morning, all because of a water main break. The 12-inch pipe led to low water pressure for less than a dozen homes and parts of Texas A&M Corpus Christi. The break happening on Alameda and Carson, where we found city crews diverting traffic while working on that broken pipe. Many foster children end up going through a rough time growing up, and college is sometimes not even a consideration for them. Well, these folks over at A&M Kingsville were letting students know that college is an option for them. This conference at the university was set up by the student organization called Fostering Towards Success. Football is a huge part of Texas culture, and TxDOT encourages fans to enjoy the games in a responsible manner. They are kicking off something called Plan While You Can. It's a statewide impaired driving campaign for football season. It's all to reduce the number of DWI-related traffic accidents that happen on football game days when a Texas college or professional team is playing.
Well, it's interesting, Joe. First of all, good evening to you. Good evening to everybody at home. And I was standing here thinking of what is it that I'm going to say to you? How is it that I'm going to describe this community? And one of the things is that I really hate to be reporting from Port Aransas under these circumstances because, as you know, Joe, this is such a fun town. This is one of these towns that we love to visit. We love to come here for the beaches, for the food, for the live music. This is such a great town. And this is what the town looks like right now.
Corpus Christi was founded in 1839 by this man you see here, Colonel H.L. Kinney, and he chose the names for many Corpus Christi streets over a century and a half ago, and they still remain today, making us wonder, how did he choose them, and how did other street names later come to be? So, in order to answer those questions, let's take a drive through city streets and a look back at our history. Okay, so let's start with downtown. Colonel Kinney really liked wildlife, which is obvious in some street names like leopard, antelope, buffalo, and even oso, which means bear in Spanish. Another street of Spanish origin is chaparral, which means thick brush. Kinney also named streets after people he liked, like John Peter Schatzel. Schatzel lent Kinney lots of money to put on what in 1852 was a pretty big deal, the Lone Star Fair. Fast forward to the 20th century with the help of historian Dr. Bill Chris.
A lot of streets got renamed in the 30s and 40s and 50s in Corpus Christi because that was the period of big growth as a result of the Naval Air Station coming in the 30s. and World War II in the 40s, and then the refineries being built in the 1950s.
Streets like Yorktown, Saratoga, and Lexington, which is now SPID.
Those 3 streets are named after aircraft carriers, which also happen to be named after battles of the American Revolutionary War.
Rodfield Road and Waldron Road are named after war heroes.
Waldron Field Road was named after Commander John C. Waldron, who led the first bomb attack, torpedo bombing attack at the Battle of Midway, and was killed.
And the first American casualty of World War II, a Corpus Christi man, Billy Jack Brownlee.
He was stationed at Hickam Field, which was the airfield, the Air Force base on the island of Oahu, right next to Pearl Harbor.
And Corpus Christi resident Warren Joseph Sherrill was killed the same day, later that morning, in fact, December 7th, 1941. Sherrill Park named after him. So it's clear the city honors its heroes, all names spelled correctly, except in the case of a few city streets. Take, for example, Twigg. It was named by Colonel Kinney after David Twiggs, who was a general in the Mexican War. But Twigg, to this day, still spelled without the S. And Hewitt Drive, named after Daniel Hewitt, who started a streetcar company in Corpus Christi in 1909. But Daniel Hewitt spelled his name Hewett. So as you make your daily commute, check out the street you're on, and it'll make you wonder what's in a name. And listen, we have more information on other street names that I just couldn't fit into that piece, so we're posting them on our website right after the newscast. It's kind of a photo gallery. And by the way, a big thank you to everyone who helped put this together, including 2 historians, Dr. Bill Chris, who you saw there, and the ever-amazing and also Caller Times columnist, Murphy Gibbons. Thank you to everyone who helped with this. Again, go to our website after the newscast.
The sugar was so much, so out of control that the veins, they busted in my eye.
Clara DeGollado nearly went blind in her left eye. For nearly 4 months, she went without taking her insulin because she couldn't afford it. She'd switched jobs, didn't have insurance, so when she went to the pharmacy, they said,
"Do you know that you're gonna have to, it's $900. I said, "No, I don't know anybody who would just write a check for $900 right off the bat."
Michelle Phelps also experienced sticker shock when she went to get her daughter's insulin.
And they told me that just the nighttime insulin would be $400 for a month's supply. And of course, you know, I cannot afford that being a single parent. I almost panicked, almost started crying at the pharmacy.
Without insulin, her daughter would go into a diabetic coma, so not having it was not an option. She ended up calling her daughter's doctor at Amistad Health Services, who helped her shop around.
This little vial right here is $27 for 1 month supply, and then
that same vial was going to be how much?
$400 for the Lantis brand.
In her daughter's case, her doctor was able to switch brands of insulin to an over-the-counter one that did its job.
A lot of times patients won't tell us that they can't afford their prescriptions. $900 a month? That's sometimes your house payment.
Dr. Jacqueline Phillips says no one has to go without insulin.
Depending on the financial need, patients can get their insulin for free.
Dr. Phillips sat with me in front of her computer and showed us how to shop around. What do you have?
So what I do, and this is for any drugs, not just insulin. Usually the first 2 places I'll go to look will be for the $4 generic prescriptions, and the 2 biggest programs are Walmart and HEB. Okay, my next favorite site. Okay, this one's awesome. GoodRx. Let's pick an insulin. So I'm going to show you the Novolin 7030. Okay. So here's Novolin. If I go to Walmart, it's $24.90. If I go to Walgreens with a free membership that they have, it's $63.93.
You can also check with the manufacturer of your insulin. Typically, they have discount cards and even free samples.
We have seen an increase with the pharmaceutical companies that offer insulin. They're offering a 120-day supply free.
Sandra Garcia works for Texas A&M Health Science Center at 209 Water Street. They offer medication assistance. Can you guys help people get their insulin?
Yes, most definitely. Before people say, do I pay my rent or get my medicine? Well, they don't have to make that choice with that.
They serve 27 counties and have offices in Corpus Christi, Falfurrias, Victoria, and others. Amistad, the Christi Health System, and Driscoll Children's Hospital also have something called the 340B program. Even if you have private insurance, this program can help reduce your out-of-pocket cost.
I have price checked and had the pharmacies run our 340B coverage, and sometimes I've gotten the medication for $0, and sometimes I've gotten for incredibly cheap.
My pharmacist never told me, you know, well, we don't have, you can't pay for it, but let me help you.
After a few surgeries, Claire's vision is improving, but as she says, the damage could have been avoided had she known. She's now signed up for a discount card that helps her with copays. She hopes her story will help others.
Know that there is help out there, and hopefully, you know, what happened to my eye would never happen to anybody else.